Recently, there was some court documents that implicate Meek Mill being involved in some homosexual relations with none other than P. Diddy, and all of this is alleged, obviously. I know a lot of people like to just talk about certain stuff just for the clicks and the whoa reaction. But all of this is alleged just because somebody says something. Like, I don't know why everybody always jumps to believe certain things. So it was in a document that did on the top part have the information related to him redacted, but on the bottom footnote it did indicate that they're talking about him specifically. So
Yeah.
to me, like I said, there needs to be explicit evidence for me to really believe anything. So I'm not just going off of hearsay, because people bring up just wild shit all the time just for the clicks and the whoa and the awe of everything. So
And they're trying to get money.
yeah, and to try to get money. And so in this case, I'm not gonna just jump to believe it, and that's where my stance is on it first and foremost.
Yeah, like I'm not saying I believe it either, but I do also feel like a lot of weird stuff does happen in the industry, and for me, it's interesting to see who gets these allegations and who doesn't, because I feel like if it was just people out to get people all the time, then so many people will have allegations. Kanye don't got none of these type of allegations. Jay-Z, there's like a lot of artists out there who don't have these type of like allegations.
They did have,
Well, Jay-Z kind of has some stuff, right?
and Beyonce too.
True. But I just feel like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, what, like, why Diddy? Why Meek Mill? Like, why is it, like, it's just so random to me. And I get people do get targeted. I'm not saying that they don't, but it's like, it does make you question a little bit the truth in some of it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say because I don't want to put anything on anybody. Because again, without any hard explicit proof, it's hard for me to put certain things on certain people. So I kind of want to be reserved in like my what I believe to be true, because it's kind of like putting something on somebody. Like, I wouldn't, if I was in a certain situation and people were accusing me of something, I wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
But I do definitely agree. Stuff like, I know wild stuff happens in the industry, and I've heard people
Yeah.
tell crazy stories about crazy parties and like that whole LA culture. I've heard people talk about crazy stuff without mentioning anybody specific in their stories, but like
Yeah.
they say it gets sick, and I believe
And
it
we
because it
talked
gets
about
sick
this
in real life, like
yeah.
with the regulars. So I don't even want to know what happens out there.
And we talked about this before too. Like, it's just a world I will never understand, because, like, maybe at least from a male perspective, or just, just from even a woman's perspective, having endless options because of having money, your options are pretty limitless. Like, even like, you could be ugly, and some of the baddest looking women will come after you just because your money and your status. So I do feel like when you have a plethora of options, that you do end up just dabbling into some weird things, because it's like, I think at a certain point there is such thing as too much sex or too much access to women. So
Yeah.
you just kind of get bored. Like, if you could get like vagina at any time by any woman in this world, then that's not going to be enough for you, I feel like. So, unless you are just straight. But I feel like even like the straightest person, those type of environments and that type of world, especially being on drugs and stuff, could just bring a whole nother side out. And I feel like that's how a lot of people end up dabbling into a lot of weird, crazy stuff. Is because of that. Like, it's not enough. They're not getting. It's like you can't get off anymore from just traditional sex. Like, the threesomes aren't enough. You just so many threesomes. Running a train might not be enough.
Yeah.
All those things might not be enough. Orgies might not be enough. None of that stuff is enough. I feel like when you have so much of it compared to us regular people, right? Those type of stuff is like, everybody might have like a story where they like did a threesome maybe once, but like, not me. But I'm saying, like, people out there have like, their stories. And like, you talk to people and they'll have like a story here and there, right? But nothing too crazy for an average person. Maybe they're in college days and that's about it. Nothing really beyond that.
Yeah,
But this world is
it's
different.
like you got money. Like, I don't believe in the whole Illuminati thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I do feel like there is. I don't believe in like a specific organization itself, but I do think that the things that people talk about there that exist, like the weird parties and like the rich people coming
yeah.
together to to push agendas. I don't view that as like the Illuminati in the way people think, where people are sacrificing babies and all that kind of stuff. Like I don't think it's so much occultish, but I think it's more so like just the
like the vibes.
The vibes of it is like Illuminati-ish. Like I think that the eyes wide shut kind of thing, it definitely, and I think other people would that have been in these parties would confirm that that definitely is a thing that exists. But I don't know if it works in the sense that like I think people take the selling your soul thing so literally. Like you're actually signing paperwork. You're sitting across the table from the devil, and you're actually like signing paperwork and then giving your life away and then in return you get money. I don't think it works that way, but I think corruption does exist. And if people want to tie corruption to the devil itself, then I think it works in that way symbolically, but not like you're actually like sitting with a round table of people.
It's like you're just doing things that you normally wouldn't do, or things that you know morally aren't right, but you're doing it because of money. So like the show Baddies, right? Morally, we know it's not a good look for the Black community. Like all them on the show fighting and being ignorant. Like we know it's not good for our community. We know it's harming the youth. But that's selling your soul, because you're gonna do those things for money.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, like maybe being a little bit more promiscuous might not be something that's aligned with like godly things, like sleeping around, twerking, all that stuff that people like do all the time in their music videos. But that's what the selling your soul is. You're doing things that you know you probably normally wouldn't do. Yeah. If you weren't famous or who you were.
So in a Meek Mill situation specifically, there's a lot to it. So since we're on this specific part of the topic, let's break it down. So do we think that this is true?
The only reason I think it is true, or there's truth to it, is because the signs kind of were there before these allegations. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of like weird, questionable stuff that you could be like, you know what? Like it is like. Because people have been saying stuff about him and Diddy and just a lot of weird energy before these allegations came out. So it's like either the person who came out with these allegations is capitalizing off of that, or there is truth to it. And I don't know. I don't put nothing beside anybody. I fortunately haven't, and like not even fortunately, because I wouldn't have done it anyway. But I haven't had experience dating in like hood guys, I would say, right? Like. And that's what I said. Like, I took it back to where fortunately, because I would have never done that anyway. I'm not from that environment, so it's not like I would have been drawn to that type of energy. And that's not for me. Like it seems dangerous. Like a lot of lifestyles some of those guys live. But from what I heard from women that have kind of dabbled into that a little bit, or like just from reading stuff on social media, like a lot of those girls be finding like a lot of weird stuff in their boyfriends' phones, or like a lot of like sus stuff, or like they've confirmed that their boyfriends are DL or done some stuff on the low. So I don't put it beside anybody. You could be the most tough hood person in the world, that doesn't have anything to do with your sexuality. And I feel like, that's my whole thing. I don't think nothing wrong with any of this stuff. I just feel like don't lie. Like don't get Meek Mill. It's like low key spiraling on Twitter. Like I feel like that's another thing that's incriminating himself, because it's like it's a lot of tweeting. And I'm not going to necessarily say that's incriminating him, because I'm a person that will defend myself, like in mass tweets. Like I'll go crazy. Like you're not about to slander my name. But I also do feel like it is, if you read between the lines, and it's like there's nothing wrong with it. Just admit it. Like, but if you're assaulting people, that's wrong. But I don't think that's wrong with being gay, bi, none of that. Like no matter who you are. But
yeah, and you know me always with all these situations. I always go back to I don't care, right? So people can do whatever they want.
Just don't assault people.
Yeah. So the only thing for me, and I don't know if I believe it, because I don't believe anything until I see it for a fact, right? So I don't believe in anything. I'm always neutral.
But did you hear though, apparently in the lawsuit, there was like a screenshot of a video that apparently Diddy sent to the guy of like Stevie J. People say don't look like Stevie J. Yeah, that was in the lawsuit. That was in a lawsuit that like the guy who filed a lawsuit got a screenshot of, or like he got a video of Stevie J like having sex with another man. And like Stevie J. Yeah. And it was from Diddy, and it was kind of like an enticement type video. Like, oh look, like this is I guess maybe this is how we get down. I think it was like something like that. And you can see this all alleged. You can see the screenshot.
Don't pull it up.
No, but I don't know. I don't know if it's Stevie J. Anyway, people say they don't look like it, but there was in fact a screenshot that like Academics probably pulled it up when he showed his thingy.
Anyway,
let me type in. If I just type in Stevie J.
Okay. So for me,
so that's why I'm like, okay, we are kind of getting a little bit proof, I would say, quote unquote proof, right? Like whether that's Stevie J or not, that's somebody. But that's the thing, the guy who filed the lawsuit, that could have been anybody in the screenshot. Maybe like, and he's just trying to
Yeah, again, I'm not
Get
gonna
money,
look at
right?
it, but it needs to just be conclusive. So that's where I always fall. Is like, number one, I don't care, but if we are gonna talk about it, I need some conclusive evidence. And not that it, like, I don't want to use the word concerning, but one of the things that was kind of like, oh yeah, I did forget about that, is like people trying to pull up all of like the random stuff that Meek has done over the years. So like uh them wearing matching out, that definitely looks like him.
Yeah, right.
Them wearing like the matching outfits, or like the pool video, and like Diddy calling him daddy, and then like
Yeah,
the fries on the leg kind of thing.
yeah,
There was just like, and then some of his
and
old tweets and stuff.
yeah, and like allegedly, like there was your Amazon account is linked to your Twitter,
Oh
so he
yeah,
accidentally tweeted his purchase, like, "Oh, I just purchased this. Check it out," and it was like a 10-inch dildo. So I don't know, man.
and that could have been for his
And people were,
woman too.
it could have been, but people are saying like they feel like the connection here could be like him getting out of jail. Like it was like, like you kind of had to sacrifice or do something to sell your soul
Yeah,
to get out of jail.
we'll talk about that in a second with Kanye. So I don't want to use the word
Yeah,
concerning
see
again,
the screenshots again,
but
but yeah.
yeah, those kind of things were, because I remember when these things happened, it was kind of like, what is he on? But as these news stories came out about Diddy, and now you're going back and looking at certain things with different context, it's like, And again, not to be accusatory, but it is. There was some stuff in there that was a little like,
Yeah, and I didn't sit down. Like we always say, we never do our journalistic duty,
Yeah.
but I didn't sit down and actually watch the academics video or get the full scope of this lawsuit. But I did kind of get the general like rundown.
Yeah. So you mentioned about him going on the rant defending himself too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of those tough situations.
Yeah, because I read you that too, right?
Yeah.
Where he was trying so hard to be like, it's like one of those guys that got to prove like they get vagina. So it was like,
But that's what's in question. So it's like, it makes sense. But that's one of those you can't win situations, because no matter what you do in a situation, if you don't say anything, people are going to think it's true. If you do say something now, people are going to think it's true. It's kind of like one of those hard balances.
I also feel like he could be like partially playing into it and trolling a bit too, right? Like maybe he's just having fun with it because he's like, whatever, like this is not going to bother me that much. But yeah, I know that tweet was wild. Like it was just so cringe. I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, I saw somebody say that Meek Mill would have been like Michael Jordan if he never got Twitter. Like if he never had a Twitter, because he's always tweeting something crazy.
Yeah.
And I remember he talked about it. He was like, I'm from the street. Like, I don't really know the social media thing. So it's like sometimes he would say stuff and he would see everybody's reaction to it, and then he wouldn't. He'd be confused because he's not really from like that type of world. So yeah, he should just not be on social media.
Yeah, because this was the tweet. When I got a girl around me, I'm effing her twice a day, LOL. Asking me your favorites. P don't control me, but it's like a high. One love to the gay people, but that juicy P do it for me with like 10 E's and a smiley face. I done ran red lights to get that feeling. Y'all weird in here like devils, LOL. Like you ran red lights to get vagina. Like now you're doing it's like now you're doing a lot. Cause any man that's doing that is retarded. Sorry, that's not people don't like that word. But you running red lights for vagina.
Watch your mouth. But also red lights could also be, that's what you call the period too.
Oh.
Yeah, a man running a red light is considered having sex.
Yes, I'm not used to that terminology because I don't get down like that. But
yeah,
when you just see the comments, I bet like it's okay. We ain't judging you. You're not beating the allegations.
Yeah, that's the part that sucks too. Is especially if it's not true. It's like these are one of those things where it's like career defining, unfortunately. But if it is true, it wouldn't be shocking at the same time. Not because of him specifically, but it's just what I think the industry is. I think people get a lot of money in this industry and entertainment, and they're bored and they have nothing to do all day, and they're not fulfilled because after you buy the $2,000 Lanvin Balenciaga jacket, Bottega, like after a certain point, it's not going to fulfill you. Like you've fulfilled everything that anybody could ever want. You got the money, which affords you all the clothes that people want, the cars that people want, the lifestyle that people want, the traveling, all that kind of stuff. Because you have money, you can now afford to get all the women in the world. Or for women, vice versa. Like you have access to whatever women, like I'm not going to speak for women, but like you've basically fulfilled all your life goals. So it's like,
I mean, we are not in those shoes, but I could truly feel like, I don't know if if that would change it for me. Like, 'cause I feel like me and you, right? Like we've met when we had like no money, and obviously our money is not comparable to the money they get, right? but the type like we've gotten to like decent money, and like for me, all it's done is made our bond stronger. Like of course, we still have a lot to do, so there's still a list of like, okay, we still got all these places to see, so we're still distracted by that like what do you call it, like that mission to get to those places. Like so we're still like distracted, like we still got to go to work and still. So I can understand maybe the lack of distractions, and like your life is just fun, like your job is fun. But I don't know. I can't see me and you hitting a lick and getting rich or famous
and then getting freaky,
or yeah, just being
weird.
bored or just wanting more, or just wanting to
Nah,
have
I
sex with
wouldn't
other
be
people.
bored.
Because like I feel like that's an internal thing. Like that's a you problem. Like I feel like your sexual desires and urges, that comes down to a personal thing. That doesn't like I can't see environment and money impacting my sexuality or my sexual desires.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think all of those things, because there's always the great debate of does money change people, or does money just amplify who people already are. I'm of the belief that you are who you are
Yeah.
before you got money, and it just amplifies who you are as a person after you
Yeah.
get money. So if you were gonna be on that type of stuff, if you were on that type of stuff once you got money, you were gonna do that anyway at some
Or you
point.
might have already low key did it.
Yeah.
Whether it was in jail, whether it was with some friends, maybe one night you guys were drunk. Even if you think about like having like running trains, sometimes like about that to me is very borderline. Like I don't know.
I don't think it's borderline.
Like you sitting around with like looking at your all your friends like penises, and you guys are just all jerking off to one woman, like, and you guys think that's okay to sit around like you're getting hard around your friends. Like I don't know, it's like the people, like you said, they might participate in those type of things before they're famous. So the shit with the feelings were already there.
Yeah, and again, because
That's crazy.
we gotta keep reiterating it. It's not like it's a
Yeah, it's not a bad
problem.
thing.
Like I don't.
I have no issue
There's
with
no
gay
issue.
people, literally at all. I have issue with people who don't live in their truth.
But I do think that there was like always that concept of homoeroticness, like guys that always want to be around, like the guys that treat their male friends better than women. Of course, we know women do treacherous things to men. We get that, but men do treacherous things to men too.
Yeah.
But y'all will still. There's a lot of people men out there that would show more love to their boys than they would.
And
to
the thing
women.
is, I actually don't think that's crazy, because I feel like we accept it as normal when women are like that. Because if you think about it, homoeroticism is almost commonplace for women.
Yeah, kissing
Like,
and all that kind of stuff.
Every girl be like, oh, I kissed my friend. First of all, I've never done that, but people have their stories of like they've kissed their friend on a drunk night. Like I'm not attracted to my friends, but to each their own. But
I was about to say something nuts.
What? But like,
Your friends really.
huh?
Let's move on.
You did this last podcast too. Like, what is it? First of all, anybody that you're talking about, I'm not even friends with them anymore. So let's clear that up. I only have like 2 friends right now. So, but yeah, like I never I feel like you said, the homoeroticism is very normalized. I feel like for women, like women dancing with each other, twerking each other, grab each other's butts, touch each other's titties, kiss, all that stuff, sleep in the same bed, cuddle, and it's just like normal. Take up for their friends more than they're like that's their boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like men do it too, but it's not normalized, so they're more like closeted about it. But it exists, and
Yeah.
lots of times that is a gateway to exploring your sexuality and realizing maybe I do have feelings for the opposite sex or the same sex, or both. No judgment zone. Just don't, like, that's the thing. Like, my only issue with this lawsuit is that this guy sounds like he's a victim. Like, don't do something to somebody without their consent. But that's the only issue I have with this whole thing. Him being gay doesn't affect me. I'm still gonna rap dreaming nightmares in the club.
Lord knows it's still tough. I'm sorry. I'm listening to Lord knows whether this is true or not.
Yeah.
Might as well just put that on right now. But the other part about it was academics and his journalism.
Yeah.
Now, for me, the type of people that I like to consume information from, I think there's like the dichotomy in the way people report the news. So, for example, I watch Gillian Wallow's $1 Million Worth of Game show. I'll watch them, and I was even just watching his episode that he just did with Drewski, which was really funny. It's OD funny.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying that, we don't even talk or mention anybody's name unless it's something positive or bringing some sort of positivity and highlighting the good things about whatever it is that they might have going on, or just about the person in general. So they don't even bring up any negativity on their show at all. That's why if you've ever seen a lot of their clips, it's always them laughing and joking about something, because that's just what they do. There's
Yeah,
nothing like,
positive.
they're not like gossipers
Yeah.
basically. Academics, on the other hand, has made his whole career off of gossip,
Yeah.
basically. So for me personally, it's not my type of content. And I also do recognize at the same time, though, that him acknowledging and just speaking about what's going on in the culture itself is also not necessarily him like promoting it, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
he's literally
He's just speaking
reporting
on it.
Yeah, it's not any different than the news. I mean, he does add a little bit more bias and
He
jokes that
does.
the news doesn't have. But
And I haven't watched him since probably,
college.
I probably haven't watched academics with any academics video since probably like 2014.
Dang,
But
that's 10 years ago.
yeah, because after a while, that's when he was starting to do like the
gang
Chicago
stuff,
and then
yeah.
I was like, like it was funny, and then it wasn't.
And like you were supporting him as like a local Jersey Rutgers guy, like
yeah,
right
because he was down the street, right? Yeah, and even now he lives down the street from us.
Yeah,
But I don't know if he's still putting all the sauce on the stories the way he does now, but I would feel like he still is the character that he is. So to me, it's like he knows what he's doing. It's like kind of funny. Like I kind of compare him to 6ix9ine in a way, because it's like he can bait and troll you
it's gonna be provocative.
to the point of enragement,
Mm-hmm.
to make you crash out, and then like he's so protected that nothing's gonna happen to him. It's kind of like, it's funny to watch.
Yeah,
Not funny if you're going through
he
it.
should tread lightly because you never know. Like he really might. I mean, at this point, I feel like he's okay, but you never know.
You really don't.
You might get caught slipping in one moment, a split moment, moment of opportunity. You're just outside, you know, walk around. I don't know.
Yeah, because
I don't wish that on him, but just,
I don't either. And his address is like really public information.
He just be inside all day though, I figure.
Yeah, with security all over the place. So it's kind of interesting, because that was part of like Meek's issue too, was just like academics just even bringing light to the lawsuit itself. And I don't know, it's he knows what he's doing,
yeah.
and that's the part that's like,
it's hard though, because it's like, I get it. In one breath, it's like, you feel like a black person reporting on black news should report positive news, and if like you're gonna report the negative, report the positive also. But at the same time, if you don't want somebody to talk about anything about you negatively, then don't do negative things. Like,
yeah, that's what
you notice academics don't be talking. Like, I always bring up Kanye, but you know he never really been bringing up Kanye until Kanye's in the news doing problematic stuff. But it's not like, you know. Now he don't be reporting on just random people unless they're doing something problematic. He probably hasn't talked about Meek Mill in like months.
Yeah,
It's probably been a while since he even talked about Meek Mill.
Yeah, so he's not going out his way to disrespect people, but he yeah, I don't know. It's like kind of like,
it's hard though, because he should talk positive.
That baiting, and then when he does start talking negative about people, he goes to like the ends of the earth, like saying the most nuts, egregious,
and like, you know,
slander.
obviously the controversy
crazy.
with him with women. They feel like he's worse with women.
Yeah, but he does do the same thing. Like he said here, he said you're not tough. You don't even talk to Philly people the way you're talking to me right now. He said go talk to them. Now the thing is, like, now he's starting to like go a little bit further.
Baiting.
Just be safe, I guess. I don't know. I'm not saying anybody's gonna do anything to him.
I hope nothing happens to him, but I want to be shocked.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I'm actually shocked that nothing's happened to him already.
Sure.
And I think part of the reason is because people feel like he's the feds. But the funny part about that is that you saw Meek, what he called the governor on academics.
No,
he did.
But I did see there was like police or something. I think
yeah.
Yeah.
I think he said
he called the white man.
The governor. Yeah, I think so.
What's his name? Murphy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I think so. It was either him or it was one of them. But he definitely did, because he tweeted about it. I don't know if it's still up on his page, but
that's wild.
Yeah. That's why Meek needs to get rid of his Twitter, because then now people are saying like, well, now you're a rat because now you snitched on like the governor to
now he just looks stupid.
Yeah, he just gotta chill out. But
and then he literally crashed his car.
Literally crashed out
yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
People out there conspiracy about that. They're like, is Diddy trying to take him out? Is somebody trying to take him out? Is he faked the crash to take the tension away.
Yeah, because he's saying that the brake pedal fell off.
Yeah, and apparently it's a new car.
Yeah. So I don't know. This whole situation is wild. I don't want to. Obviously hope the assault part isn't true. If he is DL, then just be DL, but just be safe about it, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, that's my whole thing.
But the assault part, we don't know.
When people talk about, like, just living your truth, that's cap. You absolutely cannot live in your truth if that's, like, what you do. Because number one...
the assault, no, I'm not talking about assaulting. I'm just talking about, like, your sexuality.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying you can't live in your truth with that stuff. Like women say that all the time, but, like... the women say that type of stuff until they have a gay son. And then it's...
Yeah.
Women be like, I don't want to. Can I say it?
No, it is funny though, because they'll have
say,
gay best friends, but then they don't
black
want
women
gay
are like the
friends.
most homophobic people.
They are. But they'll have gay best friends, but then God forbid they get a gay son.
Yeah.
It's very telling.
I don't want to talk about it in this clip, but maybe at a different day we could talk about it. But yeah, that's why black men can't live in their truth. Like, they'd be like, oh, just come out, blah blah blah. I remember I was watching.
People get killed too for those things.
Yeah.
For some reason, it enrages others, which is kind of an interesting thing. Cause why are you mad?
I was watching the Yachty's podcast he did with Eric and Tay, which is still like my favorite one that they've done. I think it was mad funny. But Tay was talking about that. He was like, we don't even live in a society where men can do that, because the second you do that, like, nobody's accepting of it. Yeah. You're gonna start getting called all types of names and doing all this other stuff.
Which is so weird, because it's like, who cares at the end of the day? Like, why do you care what someone else is doing with their body and their genitals?
I was always of the perspective that makes you more gay than anything.
No, literally. Like, the only time I care is if you're messing with me. Like, no, I'm not. Like, if a woman is like a lesbian and she's like coming out to me and I'm not a lesbian, then that's when I get annoyed, because like, stop. Like, I don't want you. I'm straight. Like, respect that I'm straight. Other than that, it doesn't affect me. Like, why does what that other man's doing in his free time, why does that bother you so much to the point that you're so enraged? Like that for me makes me feel like you're mad that you're holding your true self in. Yeah. Like, Boozy is like very suspicious to me, because it's like, why are you so upset?
That's that. So
weird.
It's that Southern culture though.
Yeah, but it's like, it's not impacting you though.
It's not. Yeah, logically, nobody should care.
Yeah.
But it's that, we're from these places. You know how they are down there.
Yeah.
And, well, really not just down south. It's really the rest of the country. I think we have the East Coast.
Bubble.
We have the East Coast and we have the West Coast. And
yeah.
I think everything between that
and
is
Florida.
like super homophobic.
Yeah, we just happen to be in like one of the most like accepting, open, melting pot places in the whole world.
They're just conservative in general, but yeah, like again, that whole industry, like, part of me really just wants to get popping just to go over there, just gather the intel,
just to observe,
and I'll bring it back to y'all, and I'm gonna leave the country. I'm gonna leave the country and go to another.
It does
part of
make
the
me
world.
wonder if there's really like threats and stuff that make people scared.
100%.
I'm sure people have seen stuff and they're scared to just
see, because even if there is videos and stuff like that, like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I heard there was another video about somebody recorded somebody. Oh, they were just saying that on a Gilly and Wallow thing. They were saying that somebody had recorded a video at one of these places.
But last time they take your phones from you. So
yeah, that's why I'm surprised. That's why I'm surprised.
But I would love to get some intel. I wish.
I would risk my life to bring this info back to y'all. I swear.
Nah, I wouldn't risk my life. I just want to do it for my own sake of knowing.
Yeah, but I feel like once they know, you remember, like, because we run out of time. Remember when that guy had some info about like aliens? Yeah. And then the next thing you know, the Men in Black was walking up his steps. Yeah. I feel like low key, I don't believe in Illuminati, but I do feel like those kind of things do exist. Because look at the allegations against Diddy with blowing up Kid Cudi's car. Yeah. Like, so this stuff is not like it's a fake thing.
Because that's your money. Like, you're messing with people's money when you have allegations like this that could ruin your life and ruin your career. So yeah. When you mess with people's money, your life might be on the line.
Yeah, and this could be one of those situations. So we'll see. And that's
the
other
thing
thing
about. I just hope this person isn't lying, because Cassie might have opened the book.
For everybody
to get money.
And Cat Williams saying it's gonna be the year of exposing everything. So
yeah, he started the year of Rocky, and the year's been going crazy.
It's going exactly like what he said. And academics better watch out, because if he is exposing something, you never know. Yeah. Not to be all conspiracy with it, but yeah, it's a interesting story. But again, we won't make any concrete, definitive opinions on it until we get some more information on it. So we'll stay tuned.
Yeah.